in little piece. In fact, from the petite suite, so that certainly implies miniature or smaller. The petite suite was originally a piece, as I recall, for piano, 4 hands. That is to say, 1 piano, 4 hands on the piano. I could be wrong about that. It might be a 2-piano piece, but I think it was a piano 4. I remember trying to play a little bit of it when I had the nerve to try and play in secondary piano class with my teacher. And once in a while, look at the petite suite. Although I never quite got to the ballet. Too many notes for my limited technique, I'm afraid. But at any rate, these were pieces too that Debussy wrote with some of his children in mind. So here is probably the most complicated of the movements, the ballet from the petite suite. Maybe as you hear it, you'll keep in mind, as I have the last week or so as we've played this piece, the people of France, particularly the people of Paris, I like their reaction. They put more tables and chairs out on the sidewalks. I like that. That's the way the French think. Let's hear how they think musically with some music by Claude Debussy. the things we try to do each semester is play a variety of styles. So a little bit of American music, of course, a little bit of German music, a little bit of French music, and I think our program has functioned very nicely with that today. Maybe a little more emphasis on Russian music, but as you'll hear in just a moment, it is the season, so it's only natural that maybe we lean a little bit on Tchaikovsky and some other folks. But our last piece before we get into the holiday segment of our program is a piece from an arrangement of the third movement of Johannes Brahms' Second Symphony. Brahms was regarded in Europe as, well, part of two very important movements. One was the great argument between Wagner's music of the future, very chromatic music, very huge orchestras, very modern harmonies in relative terms. And Brahms, who kind of stood there as, you know, the traditionalist, if you will. If this were an election, he would be to the right, Wagner would be to the left, I guess you would say. But at any rate, Brahms certainly was a progressive composer, a fine, more than just a fine craftsman, more than the stodgy image of this old guy with a long beard who never seemed to ever smile. And that's true. I don't believe I've ever seen a picture of him smiling anywhere. But at any rate, he certainly did have a wonderful sense of humor, and he wrote wonderful music. But knowing that he was regarded really in this line of composers' ancestral succession as the successor to Beethoven, it took Brahms a long time to write his first symphony. He started it many, many years when he was young, maybe in his 30s, but he was, I think, almost 50 years old when it was first heard. Once he got past that first symphony, the second came very quickly, in less than 2 years. And it's a wonderful piece in D major, and we're going to play for you now a good little bit of the third movement in an arrangement by, I believe it's Richard Meyer. Here's the third movement of Brahms' Second Symphony. weekend for the Symphony. We just finished 2 days of wonderful concerts with our former resident string quartet, the Contras Quartet. Some of the older members of the orchestra will remember Contras because they got coached by them several times. We have a new resident quartet, the Tesla Quartet. I recommend them highly to your attention. Come and hear one of their concerts. They're fabulous, but they work with our string sections. And another person who works with our string sections is Mr. Phil Behringer, who works, he plays in our bass section in the Symphony. He's our associate principal and helps out with the bass sectionals when we have them. And also is our equipment and stage setup guy, and that involves a lot of hard work. Phil has had a busy weekend helping with the Kruger Brothers sound and light and all that business. But also, really all of our staff and our board have worked very, very hard this weekend. So if you see them at the reception after the concert, please take a moment to thank them because they have really worked extra hard this weekend. And I know we've always done this concert the Monday before Thanksgiving. And when it abuts our fundraiser, it really creates a lot of work for staff. And while I continue to be stubborn and I do it the Monday before every Thanksgiving because I want every last rehearsal I can get before the holidays, they're very kind and very understanding. So please be very kind and please take a moment to thank them because while you don't see them up here conducting with one exception in just a moment, they do have a lot to do with the success of these concerts. Now we're going to play for you because it is the season, almost, or certainly we're getting ready for the season of Thanksgiving. We're going to play some holiday music for you. The next piece is actually an arrangement of waltzes by two different composers, one of which was never really ever intended to be a waltz. The first piece is Waltz of the Flowers, that famous piece from the Tchaikovsky ballet Nutcracker. The second piece is Leroy Anderson's famous piece, Sleigh Ride, without the horse whinny and in 3/4 time. And to conduct that for you right now, here's Mr. Phil Behringer. I'm going to go back and play the percussion section if you'll let. last piece on today's program is some more Tchaikovsky, but maybe in a slightly different guise. The guise of a group that tours the United States this time of year, known as the Trans-Siberian Orchestra. I don't know if anybody's trans, they're certainly not Siberian, they're mostly Americans. But at any rate, they have some wonderful arrangements of music from the Russian and Eastern European tradition, put into kind of a semi-rock format. I think last year we played Wizards in Winter, didn't we? So this year we're going to play for you, as our last piece on today's program, A Mad Russian's Christmas. Just a reminder to our orchestra and to parents, rehearsals will resume on Monday, January the 4th. I know that's a little early, but you're back in school, so we might as well get back to rehearsals and get ready for our side-by-side performance on, I believe it's April, I can't remember, you'll have to look on our website. But in April with the Western Piedmont Symphony, where we're going to play a lot of wonderful pieces, and also I think the Youth Symphony will play a couple of things on their own as well. Thanks everybody for coming. We sure appreciate your support of these young people. It's been fun. We had a huge turnover last year of seniors, and I was really honestly a little concerned when I came back this fall about what kind of youth symphony we would have. These people have really, really worked hard together, I would have to say, in terms of pleasantness and cheerfulness and willingness to work hard. This is probably the best group that I've ever had in my 25 years here. So it's been a real joy working with your young people, with your children, with your grandchildren, maybe in a couple of cases, with your great-grandchildren. Thank you very much, and let's close with A Mad Russian's Christmas.